Morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for a monthly webinar. My name is Devin Carter. I'm one of the engineers here at Belzona, Houston, and today we're going to be talking about cold plate bonding. All right, so I'll go ahead and give a quick overview of what we're going to hit on today. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what exactly is cold plate bonding? What are the helpful tools that we use in order to do these applications, as well as some field examples. So let's go ahead and talk more about the function of cold bonding. So what is cold bonding? Cold bonding is the use of structural adhesives to bond plates or equipment on the damaged substrates. So we use cold bonding for repairs like leak sealing and thin wall reinforcement. Here are a few locations where some through wall defects had formed. You can see it here on the left. And we were able to actually put some plate bonds over them to seal the leaks. And in the bottom right there, you can see where we plate bonded a flange down on one of the rigs offshore for some new equipment. So that's just a couple examples. I'll dig into some more later on how we use plate bonding. But first, we're going to talk about the most important factor of all this, and that's safety. So cold plate bonding actually eliminates the need for hot work. So with cold plate bonding, there's no welding, grinding, or cutting necessary. This means you can actually keep your crews safe while keeping your operation up and running. So everybody stays safe and everybody's still making money. So next, I'm going to show a little video just on how a typical application goes down for a cold plate. All right. So here it starts off just mixing up, in this case, some of our 1111. Just any of the Belzona paste grades will do. All right. After that, we take our paste grade, wet out the surface of both the reinforcing plate as well as the damaged substrate. We're going to pile a little bit more on there. We want a good thickness of Belzona down to create the bond. We'll do the same thing for the reinforcing plate. In this case, since it's a vertical surface, holding these things up can be a challenge. So we like to use these Miko salvage magnets here. They do a great job at holding the plate bond on while it cures. So there you go. Really simple, very easy to do installation here on the plate bond. As you can see, it's plenty strong. All right. So a little bit more about those Miko magnets there. They're pretty critical to this operation. They come in a bunch of different strengths. And as you saw in the video there, we use that eyelet for mounting our ratchet straps down so that it holds it in place while it cures. We're actually the distributor for these in the area. So it's likely that for our Belzona repairs, these will you'll be seeing a lot of these. So sometimes though, leaks, you don't have exactly the time just to let the leak sit there and go. You don't have enough time to sit back and get everything prepped for a plate bond. So you need something in the meantime here. So we offer this kit here. This is our tank sealer kit. So this kit has a bunch of items in it to help mitigate leaks quickly, so that you can have enough time to get a full repair together. So the video next will show an example of how we actually use these magnets here in this repair. All right. So the first thing we do is we take this is basically a fridge magnet with like a neoprene sheet in there. And so this is actually going to help us seal when we come in with this magnet and actually attach it to the plate there. This guy didn't get it exactly right on the first, but since it's a magnet, you can just take it off, readjust it, and put it back in the right spot until you get that leak to actually stop. And bam. So there's just a quick way to seal the leak while you're able to sit back and get a repair plan together. So to actually get an application going, the first thing we're going to do is assess the damage that we're working with, whether this is like a through wall or if this is just thin metal. We got to know like what the functional requirement of the repair is. So In this case, these guys aren't repairing, they're actually installing brackets using cold plate bonding. This here, they use some of our Belzona 7311. That's our structural adhesive. But yeah, so when we design the repairs, we're taking into consideration like the environment we're working in, what load considerations. We also write up an in-depth procedure that gives step by step with the description of products and everything. So it makes it real simple for the application crews to install. All right, so now that we're through the meat of the semester seminar, I'm still stuck in my college days there. We'll get into some of the real world examples. So here we have an amine holding tank. Uh, there was some severe corrosion under here that was causing some leaks, which is just a no-go. They had to have this whole area cordoned off. Uh, so to deal with an active leak, what we actually like to do is we'll sit here and we'll take a like a vent plate here. So it's just a nozzle on a flat plate. So we'll bond the outside over the leaking area so that the fluid actually has a place to go, and that the hydrostatic pressure of it isn't going to blow off the repair while it cures. So once the plate's bonded in place, we like to come in with uh, some more repairs here. In this case, we did first a base grade wrap. And on top of it, we came in with this is our Super Wrap 2. That's our ASME PCC2 compliant composite wrap. That's a very versatile system. We use it in a bunch of different locations on this tank. All right, so another one here. We had a nozzle that needed to get bonded onto the outside of the tank. The big question, right, is if you're bonding that on, you can get the Belzona and everything on there, but then you have to have some way to hold it on. So once again, we use these Miko magnets here to hold it in place while it cured. Yeah. All right, just another quick example here. This is some really bad pitting on the well of one of the offshore platforms. So we came in once again with our Miko magnets here and held these things in place while they cured. So this was able to add back structural integrity to these spots without having to shut down for any sort of hot work. All right, and another example here. So this one was a handrail system that had nearly corroded off, and the client needed some way to get a new system installed without shutting down process of the whole area. So we used our Belzona 7311 to actually bond these down. You can see here, once again, we use these magnets to hold them in place while they're cured. Okay. And so just to show off the strength a little bit, OSHA requires that any sort of handrails be able to hold up to 200 pounds force. So we set up a rig. We have a mobile rig here using some of those Miko magnets again. And since the amount of testing that we could get to, we got up to 200 pounds, or not, I'm sorry, not pounds, that's kilos. So that's about 400 pounds there. They can hold much more than that, but that was well over what we needed for the OSHA requirement. So yeah, cold plate bonding is a very easy way to be able to get new equipment and repairs done in a short amount of time without having to shut down for hot work. All right. So that's about it for our webinar today. Our June topic here is going to be about our aggressive chemical coatings and linings, but that's it for me, y'all. And I think we're ready to open up to some questions.
Is there a limitation, like a lifespan on this?
So it all depends on the application. We've seen these things go up to 20 years, but in more aggressive service, that sort of time can change. It just depends on if you have like aggressive chemicals or if you're in very like high stress situation, that sort of thing. But we've seen generally up to like 20 years.
Y'all are using this for live leaks as well?
Oh yeah, all the time. It's one of the main ways that we stop our live leaks.
All right. Thanks, Devin. Thanks everybody for joining in. My name's Alex, one of the engineers here at Belzona, Houston. If you don't have any other questions,